Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Hello everyone, my name is Abhishek Nair and I am from the Free Press Journal. Today we are having an exclusive interview with Mr. Heramb Kulkarni, who has been living in Finland for more than 15 years and has worked as an educator there and has developed creating ways of learning in a creative education pattern, created creative education patterns in schools in Finland and in other countries. He has also been on the advisory board to the government of Nigeria, Bahrain, counties in Wales, UK, and also has worked with government of Delhi, Chattisgarh, Goa and Maharashtra within India. Apart from being an educator, Mr. Heramb is also a social entrepreneur who has also started his own NGO named the Council for Creative Education to redefine education through creativity. So today he has joined us to talk about various aspects of not just education, but concerning how it can encompass creativity and design, etc. So one of my first questions would be that it's always it's a very unique scenario where you have been born and brought up in Maharashtra, but you chose Finland as a country to explore your ideas and also bring that to other countries around the globe. So how did that journey start for you from Maharashtra to Finland?
Okay, thanks Abhishek for having me here, and greetings to all your viewers.
Yeah.
I'm a typical Maharashtrian Puneri person and born and brought up in Pune. So my graduation and everything happened in COEP, College of Engineering, Pune. Right. Since in 2000 onwards, I was working for some of the organizations in Bangalore. In 2000 onwards, then I moved to USA, California for some time, and then in 2005 I joined Nokia, which was kind of at that time the top company for the telecom industry, where my specialization was there. So that was the starting point of coming to Finland. I didn't know anything about Finland at that time, but it was an amazing journey to start with. And then I started working in this education technology sector. So there are a couple of initiatives within the Nokia and the research in the University of Tampere here in Finland about the creativity in classrooms and the education technology combining together. So that was the starting point, and then we developed this together. And since 2012 onwards, we started the organization of Council for Creative Education, the research work for which we started it way back in 2007 itself. That's just a background of how I landed here in Finland.
Right. And so because you have talked about creative education pattern, for example, how has the Finnish education model inspired you to create that? And also, if you can, how has that impacted other countries such as India? You have talked about influencing NEP, for example, the National Education Policy. So how is that entire process like for someone like you?
Okay, so first, let's see what exactly the Finnish education has done to the world.
Right.
Finland, way back in 1970s, was a very simple, poor country. It was quite developed country on the global standard, but as the European standard, it was one of the bottom country way back in 1960s, 70s. Nobody knew about Finland. From 1970s till 2000, in 30 years, Finland did remarkably new reforms in education, and those reforms, what we call today, is a kind of a great thing to have, but at that time it was totally 180-degree out of sync for the world. The world was going towards more standardized examination, quality assessments, a lot of work, too much efforts, hard work. Whereas Finland went to a very different approach. No examinations, no homework kind of options, or less homework, less stress on the students, enjoyable, fun learning, engaging learning, concentrating more on learning rather than teaching. So this was a major shift done by Finland. And this investment in the research and the way of creative teaching was done by Finland way back in 1970s till 2000. When I came to Finland for my research here, and then what I found that there is something different in the schools. At that time, Finland was not known in the world for its PISA test, There were a couple of PISA tests were done and Finland had topped it, but people thinking that, okay, it's kind of a luck or luck by chance. That's okay, once in the top come. Even the people from Finland were kind of thinking, okay, it's something happened. But in 2003, in 2006, again, Finland came at the top of the PISA test, and then world started thinking seriously about Finnish model of education. So what exactly that Finnish model of education is? It's, as I said, that it's a fun learning experience. So more you can be able to discover yourself, you can develop the student agency, student motivation to learn, less you should teach. That's a simple model of Finnish education. Now, to make that possible, it's easy to say, but difficult to implement. And that's where the comes as a teacher education. So teacher education is a crux of the Finnish secrets. Second important part is a creative curriculum. Even if you have great teachers, but your curriculum is restrictive, it's closed, you can't do much. In Finland, the beauty is that there is a difference between curriculum and syllabus, and Finland knows it very well. So when Finnish teachers, when they talk about the curriculum, they talk about the learning outcomes and skills. They don't talk about the content. Content can be anything. The content in the Finland, in Helsinki and in Tampere, in Oulu, different cities, content can be there. Each teacher can take different content, but the curriculum, learning outcomes, they are synchronized as per the core curriculum. Now with this part, third option comes is that how we can be able to enjoy the learning, and that comes as a part of pedagogy. So third important aspect of that is a pedagogy. So how the teaching science, how the teaching will help so that the learning can be improved. And taking the student agency, student motivation into consideration rather than just pouring the information at the students. So these are the three important aspects how the Finland education has been doing. Now you asked the second part of the question was about how it has impacted other part of the world, for example, other countries. So CC Finland, we are an official member of Education Finland, the program run by the National Agency for Education, Ministry of Education. Now this particular program makes us that we explore the opportunities of implementing Finnish curriculum globally. So we have been working with South Korea, Vietnam, Thailand, India, including South American countries, Colombia, and USA as well. So, and UK Welsh as well. So while working with these countries, what we found that you can't take the Finland to there. It is not expected. We don't even expect that some Finnish culture, Finnish values, everything will get exported over there. And even Finland don't want to do it, because in Finland, the schools are very much connected to culture and society around it. So to make a school great, you need to define the culture and society around it. Right. But having said this, there are some ways, there are some techniques, there are some strategies, some leadership plannings. If you can be able to make within your school, still you can make your school creative and with a Finnish model. And exactly that's our school development programs of CC Finland works on. So currently we are working even within India with government of Chattisgarh, Maharashtra, Goa, Delhi, as a state government programs in the Jilla Parishad schools, which we have done since 2016 onwards. And we have worked with more than 40,000 teachers of Chattisgarh to implement creative Finnish curriculum with them with the help of learning outcomes. And that's the starting point of the National Education Policy's draft policy, which was way back. And somehow people are not aware that in 2017, to be specific, 27th March 2017, Government of India has launched a very important step towards the NEP 2020, and that was a learning outcome-based curriculum framework. Somehow it got unnoticed, but that was a fundamental change in how the India sees the future skills for the students. We were lucky that we were a part of the working program for that with Chattisgarh as well as with the government of Delhi. And we started initial trainings and it got the outcomes. And as of now, we are also working with the private schools. We have a school in Bangalore, which is around 1,800 students. And we have a school in Pune, in Maharashtra, which are having around 700 students. And as well as we have a school in Nashik. and it is giving a remarkable outcome. The teachers are so empowered, they are so happy that they can explore the things they need, they can see the happiness within the child, and more important, the parents can see that we are not even giving only the content, or we are just not asking them to mug the information, but instead of that, reflect on the information and create their own knowledge. So this is how it has been impacted.
Right. And also, since you have also worked with other government advisories, right? You have worked with Bahrain, Nigeria, and also Wales, UK. So how do the challenges differ from country to country, in your opinion? Like how do the requirements change from country to country according to you?
It's a total different world altogether. So first of all, the requirement changes from country to country, from city to city, and from school to school. Even within India, we have 4 different schools with 4 totally different cultural environments and 4 different challenges altogether. We can have a common culture, common work processes, but idea is that, okay, every school has a different phase where it is. It depends on the teachers, it depends on the leadership, it depends on how the society and the parents respond based on that. Now, coming to the country level differences, for example, we started working with Nigeria, for example. It's a very amazing country. What world perceives about Nigeria or African countries is totally different once you go on the ground over there. Nigeria is a country of risk takers. It's a country of entrepreneurs. So when we start working with every country, we try to find what exactly that cultural thread which we can connect with the school education. For example, we started with Nigeria actually, and we found that there is a lot of risk takers on the street, on the businesses, on the boardrooms. People are super active, super energetic. Now they need to get the essence of that risk taking into classroom. So what we did was an amazing thing, that we redefined some of the parts of the curriculum as a part of the project initiative, or called phenomenon-based learning projects, where the students should be able to take the risk while using their curriculum. That means they have to go out of the classroom, they have to explore something, come back, reflect on that part. So we created the pedagogy and teaching methods around that. Second important part, while let's take an example, people are much convinced that okay, you can have fun learning, but what about examination? There also we innovated a lot of things. While working with the Lagos state, which is the southern part of Nigeria, and Sokoto state within Nigeria, we started advising the ministries or the state governments over there for how they can be able to innovate in the assessment pattern. Because right now, mainly most of the countries have the assessment pattern is only with paper pencil, or maximum, even it's online, it's a multiple choice. That's not at all a risk-taking approach. Risk-taking, when you go for the open-ended question, you go for the design-oriented question, reflective questions. So that was the starting point. The two people think that the people are there to mug up information and reproduce it. But when we posed those questions to the Nigerian students, we were amazed to see their reactions, their quality of answers, and how deep they can think. And even answers which were being assessed by the student, by the teachers, they were super excited to know that, okay, how deep the students can think. That's we call as connecting culture with the curriculum and school.
Right. Also, when you talk about your NGO, the Council for Creative Education, are you planning to expand it to many other countries in the future? What are your future plans going to be like in order to create more such learning outcomes and create more such processes in the future? Is there any framework that you have for years to come?
Yes, we are as of today we are working with more than 22 countries with our 6 offices internationally, and we have more than 16 collaborations with the universities and various governments. So this is our current journey as so far. By 2025, CC will have more than 25 different schools operational across 10 different countries. That's our target. As of now, we have 6 different schools targeted across 3 countries. So by 2025, we will have 25 schools across 10 countries. That's our target. And we are mainly concentrating towards now India. We are concentrating toward Vietnam. We are concentrating towards the Middle East area, including Bahrain and Dubai, as well as into the area of Saudi Arabia. And then the next area, which is our Latin America, mainly onto the Brazil and Colombia area. So that's our growth plan in the next 3 years.
Okay. Also, sir, we recently heard how, I mean, always happens every year that Finland also tops in, let's say, the happiness index, for example, which India lacks compared to other countries. Is that something which is imbibed in curriculums across schools where it helps people be much more appreciative of things around them, or is there any way that can be linked to education according to you?
Answer is 100% yes. And let's first find out what exactly is a happiness index. Right. Happiness index is not about the individual happiness or personal happiness. It's about the country's happiness. So if you see the 9 various factors which are required for happiness index to be for the country, they are related to the society, including GDP per capita, including the corruption, perception to the corruption, how the social welfare and social support are being given, generosity of the people and society. All these factors are there actually. Everybody knows now those factors. So to make those factors possible, the education is the kind of major backbone for that. So 2 major areas where Finland has invested strategically is healthcare and second, education. All other things in Finland are privatized. But these 2 sectors, healthcare and education, they are within the control of government, and they make sure that every tax collector's money, every penny spent wisely on the investment or invested wisely on these 2 sectors. Now, to make that possible, the curriculum, as I told you that happy, engaging curriculum. So please welcome sometimes to Finnish schools. You see it. If you don't have that time, please go to our schools in Bangalore, Pune, visit it. You will see one thing, that our schools are not only just to say happy and creative schools, but in practice, you will see those on the ground. Our teachers are happy. They are enjoying. They are passionate towards job. And once this passion comes out in the classroom, you will find happy faces in front of you. So it's not the content will make you happy, it's the experience and the teaching methods will make you happy. And that's the starting point of the being a happy country, and which is one of the factors. There are many other factors to be a happy country, but that's one of the area.
Sure. Also, sir, one final question that I had is how you were also involved with the evacuation of Indian students from Ukraine, if I'm not wrong, right? You were involved with Seva International. So how was that experience for you? Like, because now, because many students are back in the country, it's a question of whether or not they'll be able to go back or not. Will they be able to go to other universities in other countries surrounding Ukraine? So how was that whole process like? And how do you see yourself it unfolding in the coming few months?
Okay, so now for that, I need to wear another hat of Seva International. So practically, Council for Creative Education is our one of the organization where we work on focus on the education, and Seva International is with a bhav or the ethos of Seva from India. We spread the volunteering or volunteerism message to the world. And with that message, Seva International Europe and all other allied organizations started working when we got the message on 24th news broke out of the war, 24th February. Immediately our team started working on that. We found that there will be a big crisis happening. Maybe the world was just finding, if you go back to the flashback to the 24th February morning, people thought it's like it's a short-term war of 2 days, 3 days, and it will go on. But our team realized that it may go a bit longer than this. So now, what is the solution that we can come up? We immediately set up a helpline of a strong 350 volunteers coming together, and in a short span of 24 hours, we could set up a helpline. And that helpline was not to call, but we were calling to the students, which is the form which they filled, and we were asking their whereabouts, how they can be able to help, what are their problems, do they have water, do they have food, And then whenever they find a safe zone area, they can be able to travel to the bus stops or to the train station, or we were arranging even the buses transportation to the nearest border for safety exit. Now, this was the first mega operation which was done. So evacuation for the other operations started once they crossed the border. But critical part was that they should reach to the border in a safe way. And for that, the students were practically alone at that time. So, but our team was there to support. Our team was also on the ground. Seva International team was also on the ground, and also it was on the as well as on helpline. And then we set up a third team, which is a border Seva, which is at the border. So once you transfer from the border, working with the Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, our team helped with many other organizations to evacuate them from the safe passage, taking them to the shelter camps, from there to hotels, and from there to the flights, and coming back to India. So that was the experience altogether. Now, as far as the things are unfolding, Ukraine is still going through the same phase. The war is still on, but we hope, I personally, as a human being, actually would want these things that we should be able to, we should see the end of this altogether, and get the peace to prevail. I think that now there will be next round of once the Ukraine settles down, there will be online education will be starting already in Ukraine. Many of the universities are already starting it. And once they will resettle the things, then the actual physical, because medical education is specifically of that sort where you need to be in person over there. You can't have a lot of time online work which is happening. But there are some ways which are being found out by the universities, as well as there are some ideas. And Seva International is committed to support all the nationalities irrespective of their passport colors. And we are supporting even for the African students and as well as the Indian students and so on.
Okay. Thank you so much for talking to us. It has been a pleasure. And if there's any final words that you might like to share about the education system overall, and how one single message that you might want to give to schools around the globe, how to adapt to better learning outcomes.
So maybe it is not an advice. Maybe I'm not maybe I cannot give that advice, but definitely I can suggest some ideas actually, or some guidelines. I think the private schools as well as government schools should take the NEP 2020 seriously. This is our last chance as an India to grow ourselves as a knowledge economy. I'm telling you very seriously on this part. The reason, because in 2009, there was another amazing policy of CCE, which is continuous comprehensive evaluation, which came into picture, but somehow we missed the train and we didn't took it seriously. We started commenting on the policy. Policy is just a document. It doesn't mean anything, right, unless and until it is to be implemented. And now, government can't come to the schools to implement it. It's not the government job. It's not even some of the state government job. So we should stop using the blame game of the state government, central government. But now it's the job of the teachers. It's a job of the school to start implementing NEP in practice. To make that possible, CC is also committed for research in NEP implementation. One of the amazing experience, we have given our schools as a model NEP schools in Bangalore as well as Pune. We launched those as a model school, and we are inviting the other schools to innovate with us, research with us, learn together. We can learn from you, you can learn from us, and then develop amazing groundbreaking implementation of NEP 2020. And to make that possible, we have another program which we are launching on NEP experiences, how the teachers as well as students get the NEP experiences. So we welcome all the schools to collaborate with us and do research together with us.
Thank you so much for talking. I hope we can do more of these interviews in the future too. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and we really appreciate. It's pleasure of being here.
Yeah, thank you.